So we noticed at the hospital after Bryson was born that he was favoring his left side, meaning he always was laying down on that side. He just, his neck was always that way. It was just always to the left. So even the pediatrician, the first few visits, she was recommending different things for us to do, like little therapy things at home, like put him on our chest, like a lot of tummy time, like even on our chest, and turn his head to the right so that he would, stay to that side. And what we were noticing was even after he was born, he had a bit of a flat spot on the back side of his head. It was, you could tell his head was kind of misshapen. So it wasn't until about 4 months that the pediatrician suggested that we go see a specialist, and she gave us basically like a prescription, a note to go there. And she's like, "Look, just go, get a consultation, and see how it is."
And those first few months, though, it did get better as far as his movement. His
Oh
movement
yeah,
was then going left to right and not just going to one side.
but the shape wasn't fixing.
It did a little bit, I feel like, but based on like us like adjusting his head for him, but
Right.
it wasn't going as quickly as
We wanted. So I ended up taking him for a consultation at the
Cranial
Cranial,
technologies.
yes, for them to check it out. So it was very interesting, seeing the photos that they took. Once we got the reports in, you could actually see it, like where the curvature was, how his head looked directly from above, and towards us. I could really see, like, okay, yeah, there is something going on, and it's called plagiocephaly. It's a
I'll give it
mouthful.
to you.
Plagiocephaly. There's like two different types, and he has that one, and it's not severe, it's not mild, it's like right in between. So they suggested the doc band, which is a type of cranial helmet.
Right.
So it was a lot of tears, a lot of talking, figuring out, talking to family. What should we do? Should we do this?
Are we making the right decision?
Yeah,
You
because
know,
it's a tough decision, to put a baby
right.
through that.
And I
Uh,
think it's more putting parents through it.
yeah,
And
for me, it was very emotional,
right. I,
very
I don't think
emotional.
it's as big of a deal for him.
No, and
It's minor.
it's such
But I
it's
feel like there's also like a stigmatism around like babies wearing helmets
yeah.
as well. And that's like one of the reasons we're talking about this too is
People judge. I feel like people look and they go, "What's wrong with your baby?" You know?
but there's also people that are very supportive as well.
Yeah,
So I think but and this is all part of this process is sharing our story so that other people, understand,
yeah,
hey, this is normal. There's so many people that do it. And once you do it, you're going to realize, hey, how many people there really are out there and how many people that come up and talk to you about it and support you in doing it. And we don't know if at the end of the day, how much of a difference it's going to make. We'll find out, I guess. We're just in the midst of 5 days in. So,
yeah. And there
but
were nights before we made the decision where I just read blogs and articles and journals and this and that. And so there were so many different, opinions as to whether or not to use a helmet because there's not that much research on it. But it is becoming more and more common. I feel like when kids are born, there's birth trauma when they have to use a vacuum to get the baby out. You see a lot of deformities, so it's being used a lot
well, it's
more.
also a very, some people also say it's due to the back to sleep program
Yep.
too, which I know that's controversial and people are for and against that. But that also has to have an effect on, more kids having the band as well. We don't think that was the case as much in our situation, but certainly his restriction on the neck movement and that sort of thing
Yeah.
was the main thing, and so
And they definitely said the way that he was born, he already kind of was the way he obviously was. He probably didn't have a lot of space in my tummy. So he already was probably favoring that side. before he was even born. So that could have been it as well. But ultimately, we decided to go with him getting the helmet and took him back in to get, I guess, size for it, which was very interesting. They put an entire, I wish I had a photo of it, but I don't, but they put an entire sock over his head.
He looked like a mask rapper or
He
something.
really did. It
We
was
just
so cute, but
finished
he was so
with his fitting. It went actually pretty well. He was doing really, really well because he was asleep up until we got there, and then I had to basically strip him down to just diapers and hold him. I didn't hold him, the therapist was, but then he was kind of leaning a little bit and wouldn't lean the other way so they get like a perfect symmetry. So I actually had to help. I put on a glove and had to basically hold his ear like this, put a little pressure in so that he would, you know, straighten himself out. Apparently it's like a green screen, so I actually got to participate a little bit. It's kind of cool. But they did the imaging, it came out great. And now next week we come back and he'll do his fitting and we'll go over, I guess, everything with the band. So here we go.
it was so cute, but he was so good at it. Like he was like a champ, and handled it really well. And then a week later, we went in and got the helmet put on him.
All right. We are on the way to get Bryson's power helmet. He has to wear a dock band for 10 weeks. So he gets to be even more awesome than he already is right now. I think mom and dad are probably more nervous than Bryson is right now. I don't know why I'm nervous, but you know, just feel for having to wear the helmet for 10 weeks during a Florida summer. That's kind of the biggest concern, and how hot he's gonna be. Mom's driving us to the appointment. Rare time that mom drives, but
Hi.
what do you think about the helmet?
I don't know. I'm a little nervous about, I don't know, if he's gonna be okay with it.
So he has to wear it 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
23 hours a day. And so obviously it's like bath time is pretty much the only time he would be taking it off. And until his hair dries, and then it's like right back on again. But I think he'll do okay. Just like he does in all car rides. We're in the room where he's gonna get his power helmet. Yeah.
You excited?
No.
I'm not excited.
All right, we got Bryson's first fitting.
Bryson.
We're still gonna make some cuts so it doesn't take off your ear. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's coming down a little bit over his eyes, but they're gonna cut that a little more too.
Are you doing the Irish jig?
Oh yeah,
Are you excited for your helmet?
I'm just waiting for my helmet.
Yeah.
Waiting for them to make some adjustments because, you know, it didn't fit exactly as well as I would have liked. It was making my ear poke out. But I can't wait to wear it. And so Dad won't be as nervous about me running into the wall.
All right. It's official. We've left Cranial Technologies. Bryson has his helmet. 70 days and counting. Mom, how you doing? Mom could be better. But I think you look cool, Bryson. We're gonna make this 70 days gonna go faster than you know it. It's not good, he's pulling his helmet down. He's gonna use it as like his eye mask. Did pretty well.
He did great, and he's doing great.
Yeah. First couple nights were restless sleep, but we don't know if that was the helmet or not.
He also got a vaccine that week, so it could have been that, a combination of the two.
Right.
We really put him through the ringer in 1 week.
So, but yeah, we're 5 days in, and the last couple nights he slept a lot better. So
Yeah, and it doesn't bother him. He wears it 23 hours a day. The first 2 days, we were doing 3 hours on, 1 hour off, just to see if he had any red spots. And
Okay, first night we just took the helmet off. So he's got some redness back to his head. It's a little bit wet on the back side of his head, on one side, where I guess it's a little bit tighter. Got some redness on the front of his forehead over here, and then on the back side over here as well. As long as it goes away quickly, we should be okay.
And he did have one spot that bothered us a little bit, and the helmet was kind of dipping low. So I ended up taking him back within the first few days to get adjusted.
Somebody's back. Getting some adjustments to his helmet. Yep. What do you think? Good?
and even after the adjustments, we still have like a hot spot that I feel sticks around. But they said I guess it's not anything to be concerned about because when you did go in for resizing, it had
Gone away
to a certain extent.
and it happens to be right where the helmet closes. So they said,
but it was still showing up even an hour later, though.
Yeah, but it faded. And the thing that you want to make sure is that any spots fade within the hour. They said it's normal, that one, it's fine, and we just keep monitoring it. We take his helmet off to change him.
So it's been 3.5 days or 4 days since we got the helmet. Right, buddy? And he's been doing really well. You know, it's not bothering him. He's staring outside.
Great.
But
we have 65 more days left.
Yeah, it's a little harder, I feel like, in the Florida summer to do this. In the middle, late August time period in South Florida, really anywhere in the country almost right now, it's crazy to be wearing this helmet. And but yeah, if you take him outside, that's where it gets where he's going to get really sweaty. Because even when we were taking him outside for just a little bit and bringing him in, like he was like soaked on the back of his head. So it is a tough time period if you if you are able to time it or at all, which I know it's kind of tough because they really do suggest trying to start this, by the time they're 6 months old, because it gets harder and harder to do any sort of reshaping after that.
And they're going through growth spurts right now, so this is like the perfect time to actually put the doc band on or the helmet, because when he's having the growth spurt, it's going to be holding the spots that don't need growth and allowing the spots that need growth to catch up, basically.
All right.
So it is what it is.
All right. So we'll keep you updated on progress on the helmet.
Yep.
On his power helmet.
On his power helmet. That's what we call it. Well, until next time.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.